Så. Jo, då har jag fixat grafiken här till jag rider lopp. Fast det var ju ettan och tvåan han gav mig.
Welcome to Command and Conquer Red Alert 3. I'm an Allied Guardian tank, and these prats and I are here to tell you about how we think you should be doing your job. Sir.
Yes. We've temporarily called a truce to make sure you do not send us to our deaths needlessly. To begin with, we will tell you how to move your viewpoint around the battlefield and how to command your units, including the best ones, such as me, the Soviet hammer tank. Just look at this body compared with the teeny little Japanese tank to my left.
Shut up!
Ow!
Please excuse him, sir. Let us begin.
Oh, blimey. Right, okay. To move your camera around...
Är det inte som man kan ha...
Around the battlefield, just hold down the right mouse button and slide your mouse around.
Try moving your camera now.
You may also move your cursor to the far edges of the screen.
Easy enough. Now, to rotate the camera, hold down the middle mouse button and move the mouse around.
Try rotating your camera now.
To zoom the camera in and out, simply slide your mouse wheel.
Try zooming your camera now.
As you go about fussing with the camera, sir, remember you can always click the middle mouse button to reset the viewing angle.
My goodness, Commander. You have completed your first objective.
Right proper you have. Objectives, as you might have surmised, are special goals you need to accomplish in order to progress through the campaigns.
In general, objectives will be labeled using special markers out on the battlefield. Follow the on-screen indicators to get to them.
If at any time you're not sure what the blazes you're supposed to be doing, hit the escape key to pay a visit to the mission menu. It'll list all your current objectives.
Good. Now that you have an idea for how to move around the battlefield, let's move on to controlling your units. Here come some of our hated enemies now.
Right, to select a unit, just left-click on it.
Try selecting one of these allied peacekeepers.
Nice! He's definitely one of ours, sir.
You may also hold down the left mouse button and drag your mouse. This will create a selection box. Any units inside the selection box will be selected. And if you want more units added to your selection, hold down the shift key and drag a selection box around those units. Okay, now that we've reminded you how to select units, you'll need to move them around the battlefield. Ow!
I was getting to that. To move your units, whilst having them selected, click the right mouse button on any open terrain.
Try moving your units to the designated area up ahead.
Scanning perimeter. 10-4, sir. Scanning perimeter. That's affirmative. On point. En route.
See? They obey you without question.
Notice, Commander, how the darkened area of the battlefield revealed itself as your forces drew near. This darkened area is the fog of war and represents parts of the battlefield that may be hiding enemy troop movements. Be careful when venturing into unseen areas, and use your scouts to survey the terrain before committing your forces. Now, up ahead are some dummy targets that you are going to destroy. They resemble real-life Soviet conscripts. But I assure you, they are merely robots we created for this exercise. See how foolishly they behave?
They seem so real. Observe that you can distinguish your forces from the robots based on the colored blips in the radar in the upper right corner of your battlefield control display. The color of the blips refers to the color of the different sides involved in a battle.
If you encounter different colored blips as you clear the fog of war, those are likely enemy forces, so be prepared.
Right. So, to issue an attack order to your units, whilst having them selected, put your cursor over a target and click the right mouse button.
Notice that as you move your mouse cursor over those dummies, it changes to an attack cursor.
Destroy all the target dummies in the area.
Cleared for engagement. I got him. He's done.
So long, you stupid robots.
Bloody robots! Now, in addition to issuing attack commands on specific targets, you can have your units move and attack any enemies along the way.
To issue an attack move command, while having your unit selected, just press the A key and right-click on any open terrain. You can issue attack move orders on the radar as well.
Now look there. We need you to lead us to that strategic point, yet many robots stand in the way. If you please, issue an attack move order to strategic point. You have the command. Lead us to victory!
What's the situation? Right here.
Hur många kan man
On
ha?
alert. Right here. Confirmed. Keeping the peace. Consider it done. Take him down. Securing area. Neutralize him. He's going down. Hold it right there. Securing area. He's done. Hold it right there.
Now that's a fine job you did there, Commander. You now know how to move around the battlefield, as well as how to make your forces shoot their enemies dead.
Indeed. We suggest you move on to the next lesson on building a military base for further instruction on properly commanding an army.
See you there.
Fuck detta fan. Vi kör... Man kan väl spela en, eller?
Good job, Commander. The Allied leaders have been liberated, and you've driven the Soviet army out of France. Tanya is currently working undercover and acquiring the latest intel on the situation.
Tanya.
If I knew anything, I would tell you!
Tanya?
Commander! Lieutenant Eva! Huh. Out here in the field, things get a little messy sometimes. Not so neat and tidy like they are back in the office.
Can you please brief the Commander on our current situation?
Certainly. The Reds hold Heidelberg. I'm gonna get Sergei here to give them the location of their headquarters. The only thing I can't do is take it out for you. That, you're gonna have to do on your own.
You're doing very well, Commander. We've pushed the Soviets back to their headquarters at Germany at Heidelberg Castle. You're going to have to access the city by river, as the Soviets' bases will be heavily fortified and heavily defended. When the time is right, you'll have access to the Vindicator bombers to strike designated targets. Let's drive those Soviets all the way back to Siberia.
The Soviet headquarters is located here in Heidelberg. Your mission is to set up base and destroy the headquarters. Here is what we need you to do. Escort your mobile construction vehicles upriver. Intel suggests that the Soviets may not be expecting an amphibious assault.
Eller man kan bara ha medium nu kanske.
The Soviet headquarters is located here in Heidelberg.
Hon ju. Skitmånga sådana kända skådespelare.
The Soviets don't know we're here yet, so we should lay low and escort these MCVs upriver. Then set up a foothold by building a base for an assault on the Soviet headquarters. If possible, try not to destroy too much of the city, Commander.
Let's take her out for a cruise. Steady. All ahead. Definitely. Bring it down. Let's see what she can do. Ah, yes. I like this one. Let me show you around. Of course, my friend. Nice waters here, eh?
Welcome to Heidelberg, sir. I'm Commander Lisette, and I've been assigned to support you in this mission. I might not look tough, but everyone who's underestimated me is no longer with us.
Full ahead.
Det här, vad ska man ut på i då?
Yup. Hydrofoil. Nice waters here, eh? Let me show you around. Nice waters here, eh? Steady. Nice waters here, eh? I like this one. Ah, yes. Nice waters here, eh? Steady.
Your hydrofoils can toggle between two weapons, a standard attack and weapon jammer. Target those Tesla coils with the jammer, and your co-commander's dolphins should be able to approach them unharmed.
Steady. Let's see what she can do.
Your hydrofoils have been destroyed. Mission aborted.
Ja, det var riddarlort. Skit. Det är som man har bollar med sen. Nu är det Peda Freda här. Vi kan inte sitta och vara helt stora. Det verkar fett som fan ändå, man sätter sig in i det. Men det är Peda Freda, va? Och Peda Freda innebär att nu är det dags för Dungeon Keeper, fast det är inte Dungeon Keeper, men det är som Dungeon Keeper. Och det är nog nej, han spelar Worms också. Det måste vi göra nu först. Fast det var Worms 2 vi spelade hemma hos han. Det hade såna jävla bollar. Men jag ska bara spela någon sån snabbis här. Stack vi hem från skolan och sånt. Spela Worms. Ja. Jag kombar, Peda, Kenny. Vi kan ta något här bara så. Klara ett uppdrag. Vad man ska göra. Jag gjorde så en gång, vet jag. Jag ser det. Så. Det ska jag göra så. Jag snäar. så här va. Kan vi få fram det? Ja, jag är inne i spelet i alla fall, har man. Men fan, jag vet jag gjorde så sist vi spelade detta. Kommer inte fram här. Som jag snäar nu på detta. Det kan också vara grafik. Inställningarna. Det är sånt här man vill knäcka hela sitt fucking tangentbord. Kolla. Jag får inte fram nästa. Så kan man göra dock. Men jag får inte. Kan jag så. Fan vad störigt. Ja, det är alla de på gården, ja. Alla svin som var med. Fan. Vad jag snäar. Kan man bara fucking göra som jag vill. Vad hände? Ja. Men så är den där. Fan vad gjorde vi? Ja. Varför är den där? Ja, fan vad jobbig. Den kommer exakt där. Vi gör så här. Bearbeta den. Peda. efter mycket om och med så kanske jag borde. Vi får se. Jag ger ett försök till. Bra inställning. Ja men det är rätt inställning, det ser jag. Klara ett uppdrag. Flugorna. Bara för att så ska jag ändå in här och kunna. Vi har för något. Nej, ja, det ska vara så.
Yes, Ma.
Så för mig att jag tryckte så här. Så. Och så tryckte jag på spelet igen så blev det boljigt. Ja. Ser ni? Du ser alla Johnny Lip, Ankeröv.
Get a move on.
Ja.
Shoot. Ow! First blood. Hey! Ow.
Skit Malin.
I'll get ya. Yes, my assets.
Dör du inte fler minuter? Jag bollar.
Shoot.
Jag bollar.
Ow!
Kabeltäckning! Nej! Nej, han dör inte, det är lugnt.
Vänta bara.
Så kommer jag ihåg, vi gillar det där danska. Vi ändrar alltid på danska. Jag måste Peda.
Ow. I'll get you back. Yes, my assets.
Ja, skitmånga ju. Fy ska jag. Ja, här ska vi ta en liten teleportering på flintejäveln. Var har vi det?
Känn på det här.
Ja.
I'll get you back. Yes, Ma.
Svarte Peter. Nej! Jag fuckar.
Förstärkning. Revansch. Yes, Ma.
Ja, nu jävlar. Alltså.
Shoot.
Oj! Jag skulle hoppa så sköt jag.
Förstärkning!
Ja, det är typiskt detta spelet. Ska han nu? Jag trodde han skulle på det, va?
Yes, presents.
Man ska kunna byta mask på något sätt. Ja, men jag kommer inte ihåg hur man gör det. Nu är det där, ja. Jag har ingen minigun.
Hiya.
Jag älskar minigunnen. Men vi gör så här. Gå ner.
Ow! Ow!
Nej, med mina egna.
To your own blood.
Och så drar han väl ett skott på sketmalen. Eller på den. Krang.
Hoppsan. Yes, ma.
Hur är det när man byter? Jag kommer inte ihåg vilken knapp det är.
Shoot. Ow! Ow! Du ska få. Förstärkning!
Ja, det har kanske. Undrar vad han gör här nu.
Känn på det här. I'll get ya. Yes, presents.
Ja, okej. Vi skickar två.
Ow! Oh, yeah, is dead. Yeehaw! Victory!
Ja, det hade ju varit roligt att spela detta faktiskt med alla bananabomber och superfår och minigunnen och allt vad det är. Holy grenade, halleluja och sånt. Men det har vi inte tid med idag för det är Peda Freda. Det kommer en dag. Vi får göra en ny sån, jag och Dasse alla gånger. Worms turnering. Nu till det sista Peda-spelet tror jag faktiskt det blir. Ja, och det lär ta lite tid faktiskt för jag har aldrig spelat det men ja det ska vara sånt nytt och så är det som Dungeon Keeper. Och det gamear Peda sönder på sin dator medan jag och Conny fick spela på en 64. Ja. Aj, fan, nytt kaffe.
The tired evil obviously couldn't sleep and wanted to drive away the fatigue by pushing a few little snots around.
Så ska det vara massa sådana CP-fulla referenser och sånt här. Och sen kan du spela här ute på ytan också. Det är inte bara Dungeon. Vi får ta det här. För jag har aldrig spelat det.
Dungeon Basics. The newcomer evil should learn the basics of dungeon management.
typ som Sagan om ringen och sånt skit ska de snacka om och hitta något och sånt. Helt sjukt.
The still learning the ropes evil had decided to try the excellent tutorials. Good choice. In this childishly simple introductory mission, it would learn the basics of dungeon management. Things like digging, building rooms, and hiring and firing creatures. Everything a novice evil needs to know. First of all, it admired the center of its power, the dungeon heart. This, if possible, should never be broken, as that would lead to an inglorious and permanent end to the definitely wanting to avoid this at all costs evil. Naturally, the most important resource for any evil genius was gold. One can make the best things out of the glittering metal, and nary a creature was going to let the absolute evil hire it and push it around without a coin or two. Sad, I know, but that's the way the cold, hard capitalist world of evil works. Although a little gold could also be stored in the dungeon heart, the little snots, the strange name giving evil's workers, had to travel long distances to do so. It made much more sense to build a treasury nearby. The fast-learning evil immediately began doing so.
Detta är exakt som Dungeon Keeper nu. Man ska kunna banka dem. Så ja. Ah! Jobba! Gå ner! Ja. Hur gör jag då? Så måste det ju vara. Och sen... Nej. What? Ja. Gå alla är här.
Sometimes the bored evil's little snots didn't work quickly enough. That was the time to give them a hearty slap with the hand of terror. Naturally, this had to be done immediately. Calculating evil threw a cagey glance at its population limits. These were divided into little snots and creatures. As opposed to creatures, little snots did not have to be hired separately, but were always regenerated up to the maximum limit. And so it was that the massacring evil didn't have to worry if one of these miserable creatures died. It simply had to wait for the next one. At the same time, the little snot, unfortunately, creatures were a little more demanding than the miserable little snots. A hideout would have to be researched before creatures such as goblins and orcs could be hired. As loyal as the little snots were, they were unable to fight and took to their heels in panicked flight at the first sight of an enemy. Sighing, the unscrupulous evil set about providing a hideout.
Släpp ner han, jävlar. Jag fattar inte varför han håller han. Släpp ner han. Så. Ja, så länge de tänker på att hugga så behöver man inte släta dem. Ja, kom hit här, Svein. Hideout. De bygger bögar. Goblins och orcs.
The army-craving evil had hired a creature which would from now on do its dirty work. However, each creature consumed a population point. Fortunately, these could be increased just like the number of workers. Should it become necessary to recover a population point, the maliciously grinning evil could always use the egress located at its dungeon heart. Simply toss the creature onto it, a little pull of the lever, and oh, whoops. Well, there it goes. These creatures were pretty spoiled. Not only did horde creatures demand their own bunks, they also wanted something to eat. Otherwise, they would soon refuse to do any work whatsoever and go on strike. The deeply sighing evil had no other choice than to build his creatures a gobbler farm to satisfy their hunger.
Alltså det är sånt... Det är jävligt roligt alltså. Jag har Dungeon Keeper så det finns en mobilversion också. Rätt roligt att hålla på med det. Men Peda han var ju sån skitnörd med detta. Jag har tid så länge sedan där vaken då. No lecture. Ja, men det är det som bygger här. Nej, så. Important, that's all. Ja, men hur fan gör man det för helvete här? Jag vill ha en sån jävel. Här kan man inte släppa med. Ta där också. Här hade vi den. Så ja. Som sagt, jag har aldrig spelat just detta. Det är därför jag är sån fattandes.
Excellent work. The gobbler farm was now ready. Later, the creatures would also demand other things, but for now, they were satisfied. The fast-learning evil had mastered the first tutorial with flying colors. Excellent work. Evil evilness. The fast-learning evil quickly set about sending its creatures into the overworld.
Ja, här är sånt man ska ut på ytan, ja. Vi kan göra den också. Det är ett tag till, ja. Så tills får såna bollar. Ja, frågan är om man ska börja spela lite bara så.
The fast-learning evil had begun the
Final
second
Fantasy 10
tutorial.
på Switchen.
It now more or less knew what it had to do to build a dungeon.
Bara
Now
fett.
it would turn to the overworld.
Men det är ju inte
where it
Peda.
would sow chaos
Han
and
spelar dock 7.
destruction. Up there
Så det kan
waited
vara lite Peda.
Isle of Good, which just begged to be destroyed. The impatient evil got right down to destroying. Before the overworld could be destroyed, a number of creatures would first have to be brought there. The Hand of Terror greedily reached out to grab some.
The Hand of Terror. Vad skulle jag nu? Vad ska jag slå på dem? Eller? Nej. Fan, nu missade jag vad han sa, dumme jävlen. Var ska jag släppa dem? Pick up creatures. Det här, jag ska bara... Nähä. Jag ska ta alla på en gång då. Nej, det går inte heller. Eller? 2 av 5. Var den sista. Ja, man samlar på sig många så.
First, creatures ventured out into the overworld. The destruction-craving evil could hardly wait to transform all those unbearably rich colors into 50 shades of grey. The drooling evil did not have the omnipotence in the overworld it was used to in the dungeon. Here, it had to direct its creatures the old-fashioned way with orders.
Nu blir det helt plötsligt Warcraft här liksom, på ytan. Säppefullt. Lev? Det är nog hela luften. Ja, så är det. Det är en massa sånt skit här.
To the ground. This not only made for a more pleasant ambiance, but also produced some lovely evilness, which could be used for research. The researching evil quickly set about spending its evilness. The sinuous evil had researched the Nagas. These snake-like creatures were excellent healers and a good addition to the dungeon. The fantastic evil had understood the basics of the overworld and the advantages of evilness in the blink of an eye. Not that those were difficult concepts, but hey, you take what you can get, so good work. Dungeons for advanced students. The skilled evil quickly learned the skills needed to run a dungeon very efficiently.
Nej, fuck fancy fan. Det blir inte, jag pallar inte det. Det är nog slut snart här på Peda.
The knowledge-thirsty evil obviously couldn't get enough of these crazy tutorials. All right then, let's improve our knowledge of the dungeon. The absolute evil's creatures gathered experience from battles over the course of time, and thus reached new levels. This was to be welcomed, as higher-level creatures were much more powerful. Unfortunately, the creatures also became harder to please as their levels increased, and had the impudence to demand new things. Unbelievable! Well, that borders on treason. Horde creatures, for example, would later demand beer that they themselves produced in the brewery. But the brewery was still a long way off, as the annoyed evil's little snots had once again proved their lack of intelligence and hadn't built any workplaces in the dungeon. Toolboxes would later be needed for the brewery. These were produced by little snots at workplaces in the workshop. Sighing, the once again disappointed by its workers' evil, set about building the workplace.
Yeah, vad är det då? Vad går det? Graveyard Workshop. Ja, vad har de mer sådana? AEM.
The little snots willingly set to work producing toolboxes with a stupid grin on their faces. These were needed to build the workplace in the brewery. A cast iron brewing kettle made out of toolboxes? Computer game logic. The not particularly known for its patience evil patiently waited for enough toolboxes to be available.
Jaha. Frågan är om jag ska... Jag ska bygga 4 sen. Ja, det kommer där nu. Ja, de kommer. Men jag kan ändå bygga ut här så länge.
The splendid evil had finally produced enough toolboxes by waiting in boredom. It quickly set about building the brewing kettle.
Va? Säg fult. Nej, det är kul. Fast han snackar inte så mycket sen. Han snackar lite ibland så, men han snackar skitmycket nu bara för det är sån tutorial.
The brewing kettle stood proudly, and the diligent little snots went directly to work producing the delicious brew, so that the horde creatures could soon start knocking it back. All that was missing was someone playing some good old-fashioned folk music. Then again, maybe not. Always makes my ears bleed. But now for something completely different, as the hard-working evil now had access to the lecture hall. There, additions to normal research in the form of scrolls could be made for small amounts of gold, time, and evilness. The always slathering for something new evil quickly began to try them out. Payday. Ah, a good choice. Very interesting. I would have researched that too. Splendid work. The good-humored evil had not only satisfied its alcoholic creatures, but at the same time learned more about research. It now considered itself well equipped to begin converting the lessons learned into evil, nasty deeds. The final exam. The chock-full of knowledge evil now faced the challenge of preparing its dungeon for real dangers.
Ja, vi gör väl den också, det är final exam. Sen är det något med Peda Freda, fan. Ja, det är sånt. Man snör in i det.
Time for a good book. I still have this comic, and if I were to make myself a drink, I could... Oh, wait. You're here? What? I thought we'd done all the tutorials. What do you mean the menu offers a fourth tutorial? But I don't have any more documents for that. I'd love to work with professionals just once. Those boneheads at Realmforge can't even get the main menu right. They're probably busy building the Berlin airport. Well, since you're already here, we can... Oh, crap. Third person. Well, since the already arrived evil was already there, you can probably forget that drink. The keeping the narrator from his hard-earned drink and his lovely Marvel comic book evil commenced yet another tutorial. In this one, it would, learn something about, traps and spells, like, how to make and use them. It was a pretty, free-form tutorial, as if someone had just made it up really quickly. It was about defending the dungeon against attacking heroes. A few traps had already been placed. These were ready to make life difficult for every hero that approached them. Some others were manually triggered by a blow from the Hand of Terror. Here, timing was everything. The Arcanium already held a lot of mana ready to be used for powerful spells. A suspicious trampling of heavy boots and clanging of armor was heard in the dungeon. Soon, the first heroes would enter the dungeon.
Bögar kommer från ytan.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Ja. Kan man inte de här heller ju.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Lev.
There are enemies in your dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon. It's payday.
Åh, hold nu. Jamen dumme.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. All right, excellent work. The last hero had been fended off. The tutorial was finished. Finally, I can get back to my gin and soup. Well done. So, now it's time you turn to other things. Things that don't stop me from drinking and from reading my comic.
Ja, så sen får man bara spela på redigt sen.
The shadow of
Eller?
absolute evil. The shadow of absolute evil had crossed the sea and now sought the chosen target. A dark elf named Talia.
Ja, men detta är nog det första vanliga, alltså så, kampanj. Tills fick man i alla fall Peda så fan var det. Jävlar, bara Peda-spel. Du får ha det gott, han. Så ses vi och hörs vi.